Hello and welcome, my friends, to T1. Woo! T1 versus RNG. Who cares? So, the next quarterfinals, Rogue got slapped the shit out of this tournament. Now let's see what T1 can do. Obviously, as you see on the clock, I'm watching this like 10 days later. Yeah, thank work for that. But I mean, at least work allows me to afford all of these things because you are not subscribed, and as such, these videos don't pay for nothing. Anyway, enough with the please subscribe part of this video, because now we're getting into the big band. And so T1, this time, easy win. Why, you ask? Because we are starting on blue side. Not only has blue side a 56 point something win rate at Worlds so far. Maybe that changed with yesterday's event. Anyway, also obviously last time RNG, they had the coin flip. It was a literal coin flip to determine who starts on blue side, and obviously, as our former coach Paul said, blue side OP. So now let's see what T1 can make use with this blue side. We're banning Lissandra. I mean, why? Trauma from what Xiaohu did. Yeah, very weird. Then we're banning two top laners. Okay, interesting. Wait a second! I was talking about bans and we get Heimer Ash. Now we know, my friends, who was scrimming DRX. It was T1. I mean, I was expecting either T1 or Gen G, to be honest, because Carrier and Lehans would be the types of supports who would pull out this Heimerdinger support. But yeah, hopefully with this we can get a mental advantage here. The other bans on RNG side, obviously banning the Yuumi, Aatrox and Caitlyn. Very standard red side bans so far. If you're playing, or if you are a respectable team versus another respectable team. First pick, the Graves. Obviously Graves and... well, actually only Graves so far. I mean, kinda Viego, but these two are, more or less the carry junglers that we saw rise to the surface more and more in week 2 and in the quarterfinals yesterday. Then obviously Aphelios and the Viego as a match pick into the, already revealed jungle. I mean, obviously Graves can go into the mid lane or in the top lane, but that's kind of weird. And let's not do that at this point here. The Aphelios here obviously also is decently fine. Graves relatively short range, and Aphelios is decently good against short range champions, so that's that. Also, let's secure some good matchup here in the bot lane for Gala maybe. And it seems that Lucianami so far has not been relevant, but we'll see when this ends up in the grand scheme of this series. We have some mid lane bans here, roaming champions on one side and more lane dominant playmaking champions on the other side. Obviously you have to ban out Faker's lane dominant champions, right? Anyway, then we get obviously very interesting bot lane from T1, answered by a Nautilus to pair up with the Aphelios. Obviously they think, okay, let's lock down these immobile champions. Hey, you're wrong, but we'll see. Then we have an Akali here, probably going into the mid lane. And T1 now is in a bit of a situation. They could elect to go for some flexible options, but I think with Camile locked in, that's just like, she can only go into the top lane, Graves can only go into the jungle. I mean, we could look for a flex with the Heimerdinger maybe, but that's kind of cringe. Victor, look at this 38% win rate. Riven? Wait a second. I mean, Riven into Camile is in solo queue. I don't know if on this patch, but in previous patches this was a decent matchup. And we get the Renekton. Okay, so RNG, they go for mid to they're really going for mid game, right? They have some they don't even have that decent lanes, right? Top side is good, or like top lane, mid lane. I mean, And bot lane, we'll see. Obviously, with hook champions like the Nautilus, like the Thresh, there's the potential to punish these immobile champions that are also squishy. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for RNG, right? They need to be like strong on 1 to 2 items in this window, right? And yeah, I mean, their base champion strengths should allow that. I mean, yeah, T1 might have like pushing lanes, bit control here and there, but it's going to be really tough, man. Okay, so we have 2 European casters and an LPL caster. Do I have to say anything? No, I don't, because I am the LCK representative here. I am standing my man next to Faker. I mean, we are a bit apart, right? And also timely apart, but I am here for the LCK because Riot Games obviously biased. But something I saw, I think I saw, is all members of RNG are on stage. So we don't have to talk about any of this bullshit. I know a few of you already wanted to rip me apart for my statements there, and hey, more power to you. But hey, let's see. Do we have some interesting things going on? I mean, Oner here with fleet footwork. I mean, I think it's the common one, and that's what I remember Graves running. Gumayushi going with... Is that what? No. Hail of Blades? Was that what Deft was running? I don't think so. Comet for carrier, okay, yeah, fine. And then on the other side, yeah, fleet footwork for Gala. We see it a couple of times, not really often. And then Ignite and, well, the Glacial for Ming. Okay, level 3 man invade, not level 3 invade here. The Regnek toy is useless. Let's go, man. Faker with the mid lane pressure already gapping his mid lane opponent. Let's fucking go. Bot lane here, carrier has to be a bit careful, right? Don't waste all your turret charges way too early. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You have total lane control, man. But obviously, if they go for some level 2 play and you don't have anything, Oner with a early gank, and so close for the Q to connect again. But yeah, mid lane matchup. Let's go, man. With this, we get some nice pressure down there. And we have something else that is really interesting now going on. I mean, 2 minutes and we're already at the turret. There's a level 2 window now coming up, but T1 respecting, or maybe they just don't care. Anyway, Wei going for something of a play, but I mean, Faker is going to be like, he just doesn't care. He just sidesteps, man! Like, Faker is like, oh yeah, Wei is coming. Oh wait, Wei is coming. Who cares, man? Yeah, just doesn't care at all. Ooh, Breathe also got a bad trade there. Obviously, this top lane matchup, man. I mean, in this entire team versus team matchup, obviously there's lots of stuff to talk about. Just as Wei is getting chunked here and loses to Scuttle Crab. Let's go, Oner. Right, there's a lot of to talk about. The history, like all this bullshit. Then we can talk about the champions, the draft, and this and that, and this and that. And obviously the player versus player matchups are also super interesting because, like, obviously at quarters you would expect teams to be at a really high level, but this time, I mean, I think this Worlds might be... I mean, obviously there was one imposter in the top 8, but this World was incredibly stacked. That's what you expect with 4 LPL, 4 LCK teams, right? Anyway, what I was talking about, or what I was getting to, is this top lane matchup, Zeus versus Breathe. Yeah, up there with the best top laners in the world right now. I mean, there's obviously 369 who, I mean, kind of proved his, yeah, his power yesterday. Obviously against a way weaker opponent, to be honest. But I mean, what was it, like getting 30, 40 CS leads, getting early plates, getting solo kills in a tank versus tank matchup? That's crazy, man. That's nice. And yeah, T1 using the ward prio. It's just nice. We have to ask, what is this Heimerdinger going to do later on? Obviously, the objective control is really nice with Heimerdinger, right? He's doing a decent amount of damage there. We'll have to look for what item he's going through, what items he is going for. Whatever, man. Probably damage, but we'll see. And yeah, I mean, Ashe is just a great champion, man. non-committal pick like CC on a global level. Obviously you need some skill or coordination to pull the Ashe arrow off, but it's just great. And the most overpowered tool in her kit is obviously her E. Yes, total map hacks. I mean, Oner's already gapping way, no, let's keep it PG, but he's already gapping him quite nicely, and yeah, having the vision of Ashe E is just helpful. We're crashing here, good wave into the top turret, but I mean, with Wei there we have to at least be somewhat respectful, but I mean, we're not going to threaten Brief too much, but I mean, at least there's a red buff coming up relatively soon, like 10 seconds, man. And okay, now both of them commit for the red buff defense. It's a bit unfortunate for T1, but it's going to be a smite fight, right? Yeah. Come on. Yes, let's go. I mean, these smites are cool, but obviously the more important smites are coming up later in this game and series. But it's what it is, man. Xiaohu also has to drop a bit of XP in the mid lane to help his jungler at least get something done. Oner also, I think, has gotten all Skull Crab so far. Look at this, man. It's so beautiful. Oh, yes. Oh, that was scary. And the Oner just walks into the next jungle. Pew pew. Takes the next objective. He again has smite, by the way. Let's go. Okay, that's annoying, but doesn't really matter too much, right? It kinda does, but again it buys time. Again there's some... Oh, come on, minion die. Die faster, man. Deny XP to Akali. But yeah, I mean, RNG, again, it's not that they're like falling off from this point, but arguably they want to be a bit stronger, right? T1, I mentioned they have like decent lanes, especially in bot and mid. But it's not that they're like getting outscaled, right? It's the contrary. T1 arguably is outscaling RNG, and as such, T1 having good lanes is like shoving lanes, control lanes, right? It's not that they have much kill threat, really. But hey, it is what it is, man. It's really going well for T1. Wei is starting up the Herald, and with Zeus getting a bit low, that's probably going into that direction. But it is directly over a ward, and T1 is marching in. Xiaohu already half-life, and that's a good Q by Oner. Yes, they use both flashes for the first blood, but the Ashe arrow comes through. Carrier is also there. Yes, Wei gets the possess, but they're all getting slaughtered. No, they're actually not. Wei's damage is just too much. Wait, what the fuck? What happened there? What? Where did this damage come from? What? Why was Wei doing so much damage, man? That's cringe. What? Huh? He only has 2 longswords. What was that damage? Yo, man, let's see this once again. So they turn onto Zeus. They immediately shut him down. Okay, I give it that to you. Okay. Yeah, but how does Faker die now instantly? Oh, I'm just stupid. I forgot one very important thing. Man, in my defense, I'm awake for 10 hours and I haven't really slept all too much. I've worked and so on. Like, I kind of forgot that Wei obviously gets the items of Oner. Obviously he gets Oner's item, and obviously he's going to absolutely one-shot Faker. Yeah. I mean, at least T1 is getting something back. The gold lead is still in our favor, but this is getting some life into RNG. Yeah. We're going to absolutely destroy the Renekton, and the Renekton is going to be, being sent to the second hand. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. That's cleanse forced. So yeah. We'll have to see. And now obviously this stuff is quite scary. Faker should fall down here. I mean, there's not much he can do. Obviously he can flash, but I mean, it's not that these enemies don't have enough dashes to follow him. So that's something. Ay. No, that's just, what are you talking about, camera? Like, what is he supposed to do? He was already in the middle of the lane. Anyway, I mean, yes, he has flash, but... Anyway. Let's see. Oner obviously still strong, but I mean, 4 kills down for Wei, man. Like, getting gapped all the time and then getting one lucky fight, man. It's just... cringe. Anyway, it's not that we're in a bad spot, right? Gumayushi a bit behind on the mythic race, obviously went for earlier boots, as you do with Ashe. And yeah, that's just that. 4 assists also to Xiaohu, and yeah. Now, yeah, that's a bit something. Faker dies twice, Xiaohu gets to CS more and gets assists, so now mid lane also behind. Jungle, I mean, jungle might actually now be behind, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Oh, man. Well, whatever. Wait, what? That control? What is not... Ay. Okay. Let's get it! Blast him down! Shutdown goes over to Zeus. Brief now has to dash away, but... the Renekton is getting sent straight to extinction. Xiaohu's coming over. Oh my god, where's my team? They need to carry me. Let's go, man. Oner's putting in some good work, man. Put that clown down who got like some lucky kills. You only got these kills due to Oner, right? If Oner wasn't as strong as he was, like, Wei wouldn't have turned that fight as convincingly or as one-sidedly. Anyway, man, let's go. Let's go, T1. Let's go. Oh, nice. Now, my friends, on 0 ping, this play doesn't work for Ming, but Ming obviously he still is on 35 ping from MSI, and obviously on 35 MS, Gumayushi can't flash that because it's way too fast and the input buffer, the input delay is too long, so yeah. Anyway, come on, man. Our cleanse was... Anyway, just having cleanse down 24/7 is also quite nice, Oner has some more camps to farm. It's a bit sad that in top side, obviously I didn't pay 24/7 attention to that, but I think like maybe we can look to freeze that. I mean, maybe. Like, obviously Zeus is rather mobile, but Breathe has 2 dashes, a flash, Wei has a dash, a flash, and whatever. And how do you name these abilities from Viego? Like, are these dashes, blinks, whatever. Anyway, we'll see. We get another Rift Herald fight. We got the last one, but kinda lost the fight. Let's just win the fight, get the Rift Herald, right? I mean, maybe this is the plan. So far it looks like we're getting one step correct, and that is getting the Rift Herald. There's not much of a fight, but it is what it is. And yeah, they put their members down to get the Rift Herald, to get the Drake. And have fun with that, man. Have fun with this. But yeah, who cares, man? Like, you get your Drake, it's a Cloud Drake, it's worth like 5 gold. Yeah, we're going to take your top lane tower with that. Boom. They're looking for a play onto Faker, but I mean, Faker has stopwatch, where he used everything on the wave. It's relatively smart from him, but... oh, okay, I mean... so Faker used stopwatch and ult, and... they used their ult, they used Wei's flash. I mean, kinda cringe if you ask me, man. In the meantime, T1 also takes turrets down, like 1, 2, 3. Mid lane turret already on target. Faker just TPs in. Like, he's keeping up the pressure in the meantime. Like, Xiaohu just got shoved in the wave. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. What is your CS lead doing for you, man? What is your CS lead doing for you? Let's go, T1, man. Gold lead. I mean, it's not too crazy, but again, look at these champions. Wow, they're going to scale so nicely into the future. And like, sure, it's not that for RNG the game's over, right? That's absolutely not the case, even though we all wish it, right? Even though we're all praying to the gods that is T1, to Faker to bless us with the victory. But the game is not over yet, right? RNG right now is on one of their strongest points. 1 item power spikes for all of their carries. Obviously Aphelios, obviously Wei, obviously Xiaohu are going to get relatively stronger, but in contrast to their opponents, or in relation to their opponents, to much rather say, they're not ramping up as fast. So this right now is one of their strongest power points, and it's good for us as T1 that we are so strong right now, because it takes a lot of wind out of their sails, so they can't be as brazen, right? Normally in Akali right now, look at her, ooh, so scary, but look at our squad. And we went to the gym 10 times already before you even woke up, so that's the T1 grind set in this game, man. And yeah, so far it has been rather successful. 3-0 endurance. Yes, we had that one issue with that one fight. But look at our topside carries. Mwah, beautifully fed. Our late game DPS sources of the Victor and the Ashe. I mean, a bit behind in farm, but hey, who cares, man? They're going to do their job. They're already doing their job. They offer so much more than just the damage, because they offer utility, vision, control. Just nice, man, just nice. And we're also not really all too reliant on these, right? We also have Oner, we also have Zeus, we also have Carrier. We are a 5-man carry comp right now, and this obviously complements our roster really well, because we have 5 carry players, we have 5 ultra talented players, right? You can't go to T1 and say, ah, yeah, this guy, like, he's just cruising, right? On other teams, we potentially have a player that is like, oh yeah, I mean, he's just like playing the weak side top laner in general, right? Or like he is just the jungler, he's just farming next to the really talented players. And I mean, this can work, right? If they do their job correctly, that's a valid strategy, right? Better have one who understands their role than 5 people who want everything, right? But yeah, 41 having such a roster and getting this engaged onto Ming, I mean, maybe not the best target. We still get the flash. Zeus goes in, ults forward, and Oner gets locked down, but the damage is too much. He gets over the wall, and Xiaohu is still picking him up, but he's getting 1-for-1 answered, and this is a 2-for-1. Yes, they get the... Was there a shutdown onto Oner? I don't think so, but yeah, with this 2-for-1 advantage for T1, we're going to get the Drake, and that's going to put an end to the Dragon Soul stacking for RNG. Let's not look at the summoner spells. Oh, we're not taking the Drake. We're not taking the Drake. So then that's a bad fight for us, because look at summoner spells. This is literally just a TP and a flash for like 10 flashes, 10 TPs, all ults. Ay. Oh, we get that flash as well. Ah, well, whatever, man. Anyway, oh wait, did I just saw that correctly? Ming missed his Q. Okay, that's a bit of a blunder. Yeah, I don't think Gumayushi needed to flash there, especially not with his item passive active. Yeah. Oh, Xiaohu. Yeah, I mean, look at the magic resistance on Oner. Okay, so they TP towards the Drake, but T1 is already moving towards the Baron, so TP forced there from Xiaohu, and now we're in a bit of a standoff, right? We wait for cooldowns, but I mean, Gala, good for RNG, he has the flash, he has the cleanse, he has everything up, so if Gumayushi lines up the arrow, he's not going to die immediately, but who's going to die immediately is this top lane turret, because T1, right? Yes, their engaged potential is maybe a bit limited, right? We have Zeus hookshotting in, ulting. We have Gumayushi ulting. Carrier throwing some bombs, yes. Maybe not all too reliable. Bro. Okay. Couldn't be me throwing Baron, right? Okay, so yeah, with this we get a free turret. I mean, we kinda got the TP. That's not really our play. That's just Xiaohu deciding to TP. Yeah, we're also going to get the Dragon with denying the soul stacking. Also taking the Drake rather late, you could say. So, maybe RNG could have hoped for, okay, we take the Drake fast and then it doesn't really matter too much, right? They still get their 3rd and then 4th Drake relatively fast, but nope, not with us. Not with T1. we're denying that. Oh, Arrow connects, ult connects as well, but sadly they get away, so that's a 1-for-1 trade. Sure, Umayushi ult lower cooldown, but hey. So RNG, they get their first turret and they don't even get the turret with objective bounty. Good for us. There's no objective bounty even approaching. So yeah, that's good, that's good. That means that on average RNG isn't that far behind, right? So it's not that there's one role who's too far behind. Which is a bit interesting, right? You would assume that Zeus would be rather ahead on Brief, but we'll see. And yeah, T1, yeah, usually their games don't go as much longer than this. The average game time was I think 26 minutes and 20 seconds, something like this. So the game is bound to end in like a few seconds now. This was really hard for me as I was evaluating, obviously, as I mentioned before, sadly didn't get to finish that video, but as I was evaluating the stats and the snowball potential of these quarterfinal teams, Team 1 being one, if not the best, and why can I say this for sure? And that's because due to T1's fast games, it was really hard to evaluate their gold lead on average, right? Because there were so many games that they finished before 25 minutes, and I was like, okay, I look at the gold at 15, 20, 25, but okay, so T1 has like 3 games below 25 minutes, and yeah, their stats are fucked through this. So yeah, T1's gold lead at 25 minutes was like something around 4 to 5k. It was like 4,900 something, I think. And their gold lead at 23 minutes was like 8,000, right? It's absolutely fucked. But yeah, T1 on a course of a usual snowball. Obviously, yeah, T1 being one of the more aggressive early game teams, right? Next to Downward Kia and DRX, which obviously no one is expecting, but that's what. But yeah, that's what the stats show, and you have to understand, like DRX has one of the better early games, while like being in a group with TS, and TS obviously showed up massively in week 2, and Downward also had really good early game stats, and they had the advantage of playing against JDG, but also the disadvantage of playing against JDG, right? Advantage, obviously, JDG's early game is mid, right? But pretty mid. But obviously then like you kind of get rolled later on, because JDG, like, they're like an LPL imposter, right? They're not really an LPL team, right? They feel more like an older, like somewhat older LCK team, right? If I remember correctly, like they kind of feel like Samsung Galaxy, right? Like their early game was, and then like later the team fighting around Ruler, that's where it's at. Obviously, both teams had potential to do something in the earlier stages, right? For JDG is often obviously around Kanavi, who's like doing like nearly everything for this team. I mean, not discrediting 369, but like my man Kanavi is doing so much work. And by the way, in the meantime, another turret fell for T1. That's all turrets outside the base gone. No, there's still the mid-lane turret, never mind, but who cares about that one? Doesn't matter. T1 is also picking up the next Drake, just pretty leisurely. Here ult connects, and yeah, I mean, Zeus not getting there in time, but Zeus now an entire item ahead, man. Let's go. Sure, RNG got a window of opportunity to clear some Baron vision, and yeah, cool, Aphelios is on 3 items, but yeah, I think I heard that right. Who cares, man? Because T1 is massively ahead, 1 item ahead in top, jungle, and yeah, mid is a bit even, but I mean, Faker has everything he needs for now. Defensive items, and his base damage is really going to be fine, man. There's not any magic resistance besides on Ming on the enemy team. He's going to have a good time. Obviously, it's not 5 ranged champions, right? Obviously, ranged champions having lower magic and armor, magic resistance and armor. So due to the nature of it being melee champions, 4 melee champions, not going to be as valuable of being like the sole AP source, right? But yeah, so far T1 still going to have a good time. Gold lead just here around 6.6 to 7k. Yeah, I mean, oh, Faker even finished his next item, man. So good for him, good for him. Again, he goes for a Lich Bane build. I think last time he also went for that. Not too sure why he's going for that. Maybe there's something I'm missing. I don't think it's all that great. But again, it's not that the enemy team is all too tanky here. Or has all too much magic resistance. So I guess like getting like an EQ auto combo onto Gala for the one tap might be actually quite cool. But hey, we'll have to see. Obviously, it's going to be a bit interesting. We have to get to Wei. We have to absolutely get to Wei. And yeah, Zeus went away, and he's not getting away. But T1 still gets the Baron for a flash from Zeus and his life. Obviously, this is still pretty good for RNG, right? The menace that is Camille is not getting the purple worm buff, but hey, T1 has now the Baron buff, and it's going to go into a soul point. So that's a nice avenue here. And I think no, they had the control ward, so it wasn't blind. But yeah, hey, worthy sacrificed. Thank you, my man. And yeah, we'll see. Obviously, Owner still a menace, man. Look at this guy, 4 items, man. He is more fed than any of the 2 mid laners. He has even more items than the AD carries, man. Yo, Owner. Like, his farm obviously is still relatively down. And in terms of farm, it's also very interesting. Gala maybe he's getting somewhat funneled here. I didn't pay too much attention to that, but his CS is relatively high. I mean, it's not really funneled, right? He's just CSing really well. I guess with Owner taking all of his and Wei's jungle camps, T1 can't really get too much access to jungle camp CS, which would bolster up their numbers. On the other side, ooh, flash forward onto Gomuyushi, but oh, who's that? There's already 1 kill. Yes, carrier falls, but that's just the goddamn support. Who the hell cares? Zeus takes care of Xiaohu any second now. That's 1, 2, 3, and you engaged on Guma, who had a stopwatch, who had flash, and who is not the carry or not the main carry in this game, and you got clapped for that. Let's go, RNG. That's T1 going for their first win here in this best of 5. We have to expect with the death timers as they are, that is going to be 1-0 up any moment now. Why does it look like they're going away? God damn it, man. T1, finish them off. Destroy them all. Destroy them all. Okay. Take the turrets. Oh, they turn onto Faker, but does that matter? Ming is going to get slaughtered for that. The audacity to step to Faker. You're going to get sent to the Shadow Realm. Bye-bye. Okay, so everything but the last 4 structures taken care of. Baron buff, well used. Gold lead, way above 10,000. I mean, way above 10,500, okay? And here we see it once more. They foolishly think they can step up to T1. They engage onto Gumayushi, but what is that? That is so much zone control, right? The TP comes through, the Chaos Storm, the fucking big turret, and then Breathe and Xiaohu are all the way in, with obviously Ming already dead. But who can follow up? It's not Gala, and that's all their consistent DPS, right? Xiaohu elects to go onto carrier because there's no other like relevant target that is also rather low, right? And like that's just not enough. And obviously Renekton is Renekton, right? It's like bleh. So yeah, good times here for T1. 10k lead stays true. Sure, items are coming in for Gala, and I mean he's obviously someone. He obviously is capable of using his buttons to do some damage, and damage does exist, so that's something. T1 is not too tanky, right? but also T1 has stopwatches, guardian angels, and just humongous gold lead. And as such, like, they also don't need to group up, they just need to respect, yeah, I mean, Gala doesn't even have Infernum, right? I don't think any other ult really matters. T1 just needs to, yeah, stay in their base, push in the waves, and then turn onto Baron. There's no way even RNG has vision there, because when was the last time when they were allowed to leave their base, right? Every ward they placed earlier there should have timed out. They're turning onto Owner, but stopwatch into game over, because now you are in a 4v5. Faker's getting attacked here because his entire team left him. Everyone on T1 is like, let's get the Renekton. Faker, they're standing like, oh my god. I mean, Faker obviously could have elected to flash away. And yeah, Gala gets his ult, but that's just not enough. And even though the almighty Owner and Faker fall, it doesn't matter, because T1 is a 3-carry team. Let's fucking go. T1 gets this first dub. And yeah, I'm going into the next game quite ecstatic. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself with game number 1. I sure did. Let's keep at it. Let's go T1. T1 fighting. T1 winning. Let's go.